Okay, now we're going to do the same thing, but this time it's asking how many pieces are not red. So instead of using 28 for our percent, we have our whole, which is 300. We have our percent, and our percent this time is 100 minus 28 because it's all the ones that are not red. So that's going to be 72%. And our part, we don't know. Write an equation to represent the number of pieces that are not red. So this is the exact same thing that we did, just using a different number. So let's use R to represent our part, or actually that would be for red. Let's use N for not red. So we get that not red equals our percent, which is 72% times 300. We can't multiply in percent form, so we get N equals 0.72 times 300. When we multiply that out, we get 216 pieces. And I probably, went ahead. I do that a lot. Okay, and you can go ahead and try letter C on your own. Example 4. Moving on from red candy pieces. Zoe inflated 24 balloons for decorations at the middle school dance. If Zoe inflated 15% of the total, how many balloons are there total? Solve the problem using the percent formula. So we have part equals percent times whole. Now, it's asking how many there are in total. So our whole is actually going to be our unknown this time. We have our percent, 15%. We have our part, which is 24. So that means that we have 24 equals, turn this into a decimal, 0.15 times our total. We don't know what our total is. So now, instead of multiplying, we need to figure out what T is. How do we figure out what T is? Well, so I've been practicing equations. We're dividing by 1500ths on both sides. We get T equals 24 divided by 1500ths, which is which is 160. So that means there are 160 balloons. Now it asks us to verify using a visual model. So if we have the balloons, 0, we don't know, 0, 100%. And if we have 15% is 24, we can find out 5% by dividing by 3. So 5% would be 8. And then to get 5 to 100, we're multiplying by 20. What is 8 times 20? We get 160. So we can basically multiply and divide along these two number lines like we can equivalent fractions, basically. Last example. Find the percent given a part of a whole and the whole. So this time the percent is missing. So Haley is making admission tickets to the middle school dance. So far she has made 112 tickets, and her plan is to make 320 tickets. So 320 is our whole, 112 is our part. What percent of the admission tickets has Haley produced so far? So we're looking for our percent. Solve the problem using the percent formula and verify using the visual model. So our formula, part equals percent times whole. Our part is 112, equals our percent. We call that P times 320. How do we solve for P? We divide both sides by 320. And we're going to get 0.3, oops, yeah, 0.35 equals P. What is that as a percent? 35%. Let's check that using our visual model. We have 0 admission tickets, we have 320, and somewhere around here we have 112, 0%, 100%, somewhere around here we have 35%. If we can get this down to 5%, that's by dividing by 7. We can also divide this by 7. And 112 divided by 7 is, handy dandy calculator, is 16. And then I can go from 5% to 100%, that's times 20. 16 times 20, 16 times 20 gets us 320. Okay, make sure that you have done all of these examples, and then you can go to your exit ticket. Remember that any work you do in your problem set is extra credit. And if you finish early, you can go back and do lessons from earlier in the week or do Khan Academy.